because I quit using dairy for about a month.
Why?
Well, I went on a diet, and technically speaking, we don't really need dairy products because what we get out of dairy comes from other foods such as beef and beans and all that jazz. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go on this diet, and I did. And then cheesecake came tempting me again, and eggnog came around Christmas time. So I've just been consuming dairy like crazy, and like it's been killing me. I still haven't gotten over it. It's still killing me. I consistently eat dairy all the time, and
Godzilla monster milk.
Godzilla monster milk. I'll tell you.
I'm so glad I started recording 5 minutes ago.
No, that's the intro now.
What? You mean you got this whole thing recorded of me going off about my lactose intolerance?
Yeah.
I was just about to mention, like, hey guys, aren't you here for a podcast from Monster Planet with an anime trilogy? What? I mean, talking about milk products is a lot more entertaining than watching the Godzilla anime trilogy, so...
Daniel isn't wrong there. I mean, David, Daniel, whoever this... I'm just gonna call you the radioactive.
Alright, I guess we'll start with introductions now.
Yeah.
Shall I, Yes, alright. So, coming from the depths of his mom's apartment in the heart of Brampton, Mr. David Bakelman, aka...
I'm in my room.
Octopus.
I'm in my room. The computer's on the stand, like, beside my bed.
Now at the depths of his room!
An awful cesspit of degeneracy.
Alright, you already know me. I'm that one guy who always does J-pop skins and feels that the past is better than the present because it is. Repower Reptiles, aka... wait, no, shit, fuck! Rahul gonna Sakura, but, yeah, I'm known as Repower Reptile, shit, fuck, god damn it, Alright.
We're like 5 seconds in. Well, I guess 5 minutes in.
No, it's like roughly 5 seconds, actually, alright,
Oh.
Alright, anyway, finally, we, actually have a special guest here with us. He is a avid Godzilla YouTuber. Shit. Oh, fuck, I messed that up.
Right, yeah, you messed that up.
Give me a minute, I could do this.
That's what happens when we don't have a script, just...
Yeah!
Right. Literally me every YouTube video.
Alright. Joining us today is another advocate? Godzilla advocate, sure. He is sworn to protect the species at all costs.
Damn right.
Fighting for Godzilla's rights.
You're damn right.
He's low down Baron in the heart of Texas, hailing in from Hales Entertainment.
Wow.
Hales.
Again, and I'm kicking you off the podcast.
What? Come on.
Alright, so gentlemen, today, finally, of all days, today, we are talking about the anime Godzilla trilogy, what has to be arguably the most controversial of Godzilla films as of late.
Okay, as of late.
Jesus, that was terrible. Can you say that again, please?
Huh?
Your audio went to shit.
Oh, okay. I said, I was about to say, are you sure about that? But then I heard you say as of late. So I was like, no, never mind.
Shin Godzilla 2014, yes!
Oh god.
Those had pretty mixed responses too, but yeah, the anime trilogy.
But I feel like with those two, like when it was all said and done, I think both are looked at relatively like positively within the fan base.
Yeah.
they both have their detractors, but I think they both kind of came out well enough. The anime trilogy, no, I think it's the fan base is like universally shit on. It's like
Yeah.
small subsection who likes it, even smaller one that like thinks they're amazing.
Yeah.
Not that it matters, but Shin Godzilla actually has a higher approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes than the majority of Godzilla movies.
Yeah.
Even in 2014, yeah.
Well, it's kind of a mess because not too many reviewers review the Godzilla movies, or at least have their reviews on RT.
Yeah. Although
But
I think Shin Godzilla had a fair amount of reviewers though.
it did. It because it got released here in the West.
For a limited time.
A lot of reviewers were able to see it and post some stuff.
Yeah.
So that was critically. Well, I mean, it was critically well received, and overall very well received. But the anime trilogy, no.
Time to open that can of Lolo worms.
If there was a Rotten Tomatoes score for it, what do you think it would have?
30.
I think the first one would have like a 60. It would probably get praised for its ideas and stuff. The second one would probably get like a 30 for being just like a retread. And like being almost the same movie. They get some brownie points for some of the philosophical babble. And I think the third one would probably get like another 60 for doing some creative stuff, but
maybe.
Well, maybe even a 70, I think.
Nah,
I think
give it too much.
I think it would have maybe a 50, 54 or 56, and then the second one would have a 27, and then the third one would have a 42.
I don't know. I think critics. I mean, it is. I say critics, but with these sorts of movies, it's hard to tell what they think.
Yeah.
Because they might find them. They might appreciate the philosophical stuff, but they might say. I could imagine critics easily picking apart the fact that it's way too short, so it's just an avalanche of dialogue.
Yeah.
It could be one of those freak incidents where it gets like a 80%. Like, what was that movie? It was an adaptation of a TV show. Oh, that South Park movie. I forgot that was praised by critics. I forgot what scored.
I mean, it's South Park, so like.
I know. I'm just saying, like people were literally surprised that got good.
I think it's because like we all think of critics as like overly pretentious, but I mean, the writing in South Park it's good. I think anyone could really tell.
Yeah.
And critics love the sort of that dissecting society sort of thing.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
They tend to give certain movies good reviews because they dissect the society in a nutshell, I guess.
Especially when it's done as clever as in South Park. So.
Yeah.
I was just saying, like, it's really unpredictable.
It is, and I mean, like the thing is, like critics are people too, right? So
yeah.
No, they're not.
No, they're not. They gave
Sasquatches that live out.
They gave Batman versus Superman a 27%. They're not people.
27%, well deserved, I say.
Oh, screw you, Daniel. Angry DC fanboy attack.
Oh, Steven's gonna have a field day with this.
Oh, I'm just kidding. I'm not like that.
Oh, shut up! You're from Texas.
Oh, come on.
It took 10 minutes. 10 minutes for that to be said. Like it was inevitable. But come on.
I'm sorry, Nathan. I'm sorry.
Okay. I see how it is.
Christ. We haven't even talked about the plot the characters, the anything.
Hey, we have talked about the plot. This conversation is so jumbled that it practically mirrors the plot of those movies.
Oh god.
Oh my. Yeah, that is true. Oh god. All right. But yeah, just I guess we'll just go one film at a time and just have little sections.
Well, I think like the last time, let's talk about like the build up to Monster Planet, which was tumultuous in and of itself. I think people were excited because like, oh, it's a Godzilla anime, but this is when Shin Godzilla was kind of fresh and the controversy around. Let's say controversy, just the back and forth between Shin.
Debates.
Yeah, so the Shin was like a hot topic at the time, and now this thing's coming out.
Yeah.
And the trailers didn't really tell much. Just
the very first promotional video just showed concepts and the first main official poster. Actually, we did get a good look at the Servum, but other than that, we knew absolutely nothing about the film.
It is I do know that there was a bit of intrigue because the art style looked, they were saying, oh, we're gonna do things that you like can't do in live action, and the art style was very different from any Godzilla movie, like a predominantly wild environment, lots of like this weird tree foliage sort of thing, metallic greens everywhere.
I was actually one of the haters. I'm pretty sure you know this, Daniel. I was one of the haters before Monster Planet even came out.
Yeah.
I was judging it before it came out, and then unfortunately, I was one of the few that actually enjoyed it.
Oh, but before the movie came out, then the bombshell hit us. Plant Boy.
Oh yeah.
When it was revealed that he had plant DNA, the uproar.
Yeah, that was. That's what made me become just a blind hater for the anime before it came out. Before anything was revealed, I was like, oh, cool, a Godzilla anime. That's going to be dope. I was picturing in my mind, like one of the Studio Ghibli films, the 2D anime.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
That's what I was envisioning. I'm like, holy shit, a Godzilla anime.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Sorry, you go.
That's all right. Continue.
No, you go.
I was pretty much done with my statement.
Oh, okay. Well, I was gonna say when I first heard about the Godzilla anime, I initially thought, oh, cool. What I initially thought is the exact opposite of what we ended up getting, which was I thought this was going to be a series. It was going to be 2D animation instead of 3D because personally with 2D, you could do, I guess, a lot more. 3D is more convenient and less time-consuming. But 2D, if you put your back into it, it could come out really beautiful. And that has been proven time in and time out throughout the history of Japanese animation, actually. But yeah, when I heard that it was going to be a movie and it was going to be 3D, I will admit I was a little disappointed. Mainly because we never really got a proper Godzilla show to begin with. Unless you want to count Zone Fighter or the Godzilla, the American Godzilla series from 1998.
Well, there's also the Hanna-Barbera one.
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
What do you mean we don't talk about that? Godzilla, and Godzilla.
You shut your whore mouths.
Whoa.
But yeah,
how dare you talk about it?
I guess what I meant was like it. I don't know how the Hanna-Barbera series is. I never watched it. I mean, Godzilla's roar is literally a man doing. Yeah, literally that. Just.
Like every.
I don't know. That'd be pretty fucking terrifying.
So that was like. That's how it was with those animated shows though. Like in Scooby-Doo, the Hanna-Barbera, all the monster growls are.
Yeah, but despite the fact that it was going to be 3D and it was going to be a movie, I had a bit of hope in it because apparently some pretty big names were behind it, like the guy who I think directed the cutscenes for shit. I forget. I think one of the Final Fantasy games, or maybe even the Resident Evil games. I'll correct myself in post. And one of the writers was actually a guy who written this anime I watched before Planet Eater was a thing. No, sorry, Planet of the Monsters was a thing, called Madoka Magica. And Jesus Christ, it was really dark. It was good, but dark.
I mean, my expectations were kind of baseline. I mean, I was kind of thinking whatever. Maybe I was expecting just like, especially when they were announcing, oh, there's going to be all these monsters. That was just going to be like Final Wars on crack or something.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
It's not like monster exploitation, like in the last podcast, like just monster exploitation to the 10th degree, like.
Yeah, it's I guess that had to be the marketing's fault. I guess they really wanted to build up the history of the film, and that's what they did, and they did a pretty good job at it. But when your film's title is Planet of the Monsters, and you include all these big names like Orga, Dagara, Dogara, Camuebis, Megalon, when you add those, people will have the expectations that they're going to be in the film because the film's title is simply Monster Planet, the planet of the monsters.
Yeah.
Then what we get is fucking Godzilla and the shitty dragons, like.
Godzilla and the shitty dragon coming
Godzilla,
soon to
Planet of the Dragons. No, Godzilla, the Hidden World.
Oh my god, Rahul.
Hey, don't bring up good movies into this.
Yeah. Dan.
The Conquest. Crossovers no one asked for.
I was actually gonna go watch that tonight.
It's good.
I was actually gonna go watch that tonight. I'm like, wait a minute, I gotta do the podcast at 9. I won't be out of the theater till then, and then it turns out I was waiting till 10. God dang it, guys, you made me miss the dragon movie.
I'll try to catch it when you can. It's solid.
I can watch it.
So we're giving so much shit to this. I mean, honestly, like, in terms of Monster Planet, I think it's fine. It's like a 6 out of 10. It's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, I'd say it's arguably the best the trilogy has to offer. But also,
I gotta disagree.
The third one is something.
Yeah.
We'll get to that, but I mean, let's stick to this one for now. Let's talk about what it does well, I guess. The best part of all three is the music, easily.
Oh, yes.
Fantastic soundtrack from top to bottom.
Yeah, the guy who did was the same guy who did the soundtrack for Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla and Godzilla 2000. We haven't actually heard from him in a while since 2000 Millennium.
I didn't even mind that, like, in the other two, he was, like, reusing some tracks, because they were just so good. I was glad to hear them.
Yeah.
It keeps a nice consistency throughout the whole trilogy.
Yeah.
Godzilla himself, it's a green 2014
with leaf plates.
But I like what they did. I like how he's so heavy that every time he just shifts, the ground shakes and like rocks and shit are uprooted from the earth and just like all sorts of things happen.
Yeah, it's
what about the fact that when he roars, it just breaks the sound barrier?
Oh,
like some of his abilities, some of his. I mean, I really wish for a new roar, especially because Shin Godzilla didn't have a new roar.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it was nice that they did try to do some like audio distortion for some of his roars
Yeah.
to make it a bit different. His atomic breath is cool, just like
Yeah.
a laser pointer.
Yeah. The one thing I really do like
I
about...
still don't know.
Oh, no, you go.
No, I interrupted you. Continue.
Oh, okay. I guess the one thing I really like about this Godzilla is how they built him up. Granted, I was really disappointed when I saw the design because, let's face it, when we first saw that SH Monster Arts figure, you cannot tell me you did not think Old Man. he looks like he's driving kids out of his patio. Get off my damn lawn, you filthy humans, or something like that. But what I really liked is how they built him up to be this ultimate destroyer of civilization almost. And I feel they did that pretty well, not only in Planet of the Monsters, but throughout the trilogy. Just the mere mention of his name freaks people the hell out, and I think that's a really good build-up.
Something I'll give the trilogy is that it's nice that like at the end, like he wins.
Yeah.
He just wins. Like most of the people are dead. The rest are fucking tribesmen.
Yeah.
Man.
Nathan, you
But anyway, the Monster Planet. Oh, and I will say this: I know some people like rag on the English dub. I think it's fine. It's definitely better than like 90% of English dubs in these things.
Yeah,
That's true.
It's safe to say that English dubs nowadays are definitely improving in terms of the art. As studios are taking a lot more consideration into how they're executed. Before,
I guess it depends. Like I know the Ghibli ones have really good dubs, but that's because Disney dubbed them and they got like professional voice actors to do it.
No, it's all about execution in the end, and it does feel like the anime industry, or hell, just any kind of company that distributes these films, are definitely putting a lot more back into dubbing them.
Shin Godzilla had a pretty good dub, except the audio editing was like not too great, so it was hard to tell which characters were talking at a time.
I think that's the problem with every dub. I mean,
maybe. I mean, it wasn't an issue at all. I felt in this one.
Yeah.
In like the anime trilogy.
Yeah. Can we let Nathan talk? I feel so sorry for him.
I just didn't want to jump in and interrupt people. I lost my train of thought. What were we talking about?
Thanks for the input, Nathan.
It was our faults, damn it.
Something about the dub. I feel, to be honest, this may just be me, but for the most part, I think the Godzilla movies have better dubs than a lot of other movies in general. Like, I watch a lot of foreign films, like some Russian ones and some Norwegian ones. I saw one called Ragnarok. The dubbing.
Oh my god! I've seen the trailer. It looks amazing.
The dubbing in a lot of those other movies, they literally just cut out the audio and slap on the English dub. That's it. They don't try to sync it up. And I'll give like the Godzilla movies. In the anime one, if you notice, like really pay attention, you can tell where certain parts are a little bit off. But for the most part, it's synchronized pretty decently. I don't really see what the complaint is. I've seen much worse.
No, I think people just don't like the voice actors themselves.
Okay.
Like that's the issue that people have with the dub. No, like I said earlier, I think the acting wise, it's not amazing. It's not like it's not like a Disney or Pixar dream, like one of more solid DreamWorks movies levels of voice acting, but like it's fine enough voice acting.
Yeah.
Well, I guess when the issue there is like I guess when the characters are known, just find someone who can pull off that one emotion pretty well on your set.
I mean, I think the guy who did Haro did a solid job. You bastard!
I mean, in Monster I love Haro Monster Planet because all he does is yell. It's so funny.
Haru is just so. I don't think it was bad. It was just. I don't know how to explain it. It was just. What? I don't know how to explain the voice actor who did Haru.
He's fine. There's nothing. It's like the writing wasn't that great, so it's hard to tell. Like, was it the voice actors, or was it the lines they had to read?
Yeah.
Yeah. Certain times when he said certain lines, it just came across as like.
What?
Right. Whatever he said, like he just seemed to put emphasis in words that weren't necessary to put emphasis into. You know what I mean?
That's kind of anime in a nutshell, though.
Do what now?
That's kind of what anime does, from what I remember.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, then you know what? I've been sitting in the wrong corner.
But no, I'll save that joke for later.
I know anime is over the top, but I don't know.
On the anime,
but I don't know. Never mind. Just forget what I said.
Alright, yeah, sure.
Thanks for the input, Nathan.
I'm so helpful.
You know what? Here's a question that I never really hear, nor I think either of us ever bothered asking. Who was your favorite character?
Metvies.
Nathan?
He's like the one consistently like interesting character.
Well, crap. Now I'm scratching my head.
I guess Galagoo is awesome, but then he died, so you know.
If we didn't mention spoilers, yeah, spoilers, but let's face it, you probably either already seen it or you're not going to see it.
You're avoiding it like the plague, so you don't give a shit.
But yeah.
They're not necessarily my favorite characters in it, but I really enjoyed watching the twins.
The who?
What? The twins.
Yeah,
Well, like, why? They don't do anything.
I know, but it's just like, they're so interesting to me.
I guess lore-wise, yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Then in Monster Planet, in Planet Eater, we'll get to that.
Oh, wait a minute. They weren't even in Monster Planet. That don't count.
Actually, they were in Monster Planet for a bit.
They're in the end.
Well, the post-credit scene.
Oh, yeah. No, you see them. You see them, like, sneaking around. And
oh, yeah. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
My favorite character.
So yeah, I mean, so like I said, the voice acting's fine. The sound design is pretty good overall. Big point of contention: the animation. I think it's fine. It's not as like it's appealing to look at and pause. Like when you pause it, everything kind of looks nice. In movement, it's very choppy.
Yeah, that's usually the case with the 3D anime. Actually,
it's not that appealing to look at in movement.
Yeah.
The animation looked really scratchy, like they purposely made like scratchy effects on everything. Did you notice that?
Yeah, it kind of felt like they removed a few, probably turned down the frames per minute. That's definitely probably it.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there.
I don't know why 3D animes like to do that. I think cut.
Maybe it's to save I don't know. Maybe it is like I don't know. I would say save money on frames. No, that's not how that works.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't sure if like it was done on purpose to give it effect, like, oh look, this has detail or whatever, but like everything looked like it had like scratchy details on it.
That might be the style. The only other,
Maybe.
because I'm pretty the style in this compared to another film they did, Blame! Exclamation point, is very similar. You know, it's just the
You know what I'm talking about, right?
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think that's kind of the studio's watermark, Polygon Studios. I'm not exactly sure. I haven't seen their.
Maybe it is just to separate themselves from the rest.
Maybe.
That wasn't
the
a complaint. That
animation
was an observation.
Yeah.
the animation's every. For the story, this is where things kind of,
The juicy part.
I mean, to be fair, for Monster Planet, it's overtly simple. There's not really much to it at this point. It's literally like they go back to Earth after years. They need to kill Godzilla to live there, and they execute the plan. They kill him, and a bigger one shows up. That's all of note.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
There's no arc. There's no anything really. Like all the dialogue just kind of keeps the plot going,
Yeah.
A lot of bastards thrown out
There's a
there.
lot of yelling.
Yeah.
Action scenes are alright.
Yeah.
That's it. They're just kind of shooting him on bikes.
Air bikes.
I wish, little off topic but still on topic. I wish they would have, explored the whole. This is a Godzilla world, like everything on the planet evolved to Godzilla. Like the plant.
Yeah.
They brought that up in the first one, and then it was just like, okay, that was just there to be said in the first one. Let's move on.
Well, like even then they say it, but I mean, like the foliage just looks like weird sci-fi trees.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just a weird hybrid between redwood, oak, and a cactus.
Like a green-blue wash over everything.
Yeah, it's. I do feel that they could probably have shown off this quote-unquote Godzilla ecosystem a lot better than the way they did.
Oh yeah, it would have been nice to see some more creatures than just like two.
Yeah.
They could have introduced Biolante-like creatures, you know what I mean? Like plant. Like they even said like it's evolved to coexist with Godzilla or survive with Godzilla or something. I forgot what exactly was said. But imagine seeing like a tree with the like a head that comes down and like chomps down on someone or something like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like these little Biolante like plant creatures.
Or a fucking piranha plant.
Plant.
Actually, you know that Biolante does exist in this universe, right?
Yes, I remember hearing about that, but like you said, it was really I forgot the word you had used, but they marketed on the fact like, oh, all these monsters are in it, and not once do you see any of them.
No, you see Orga in a freeze frame.
What?
In the beginning,
I never saw Orga. I never saw Orga.
What?
He's in, you know that little like prologue thing where her was like talking about basically giving us exposition, right?
Yeah.
And like you know how they show basically pictures of like the Earth being destroyed by different monsters.
I don't remember that at all.
Alright,
it's the intro to the movie.
Hold up. I'm gonna help you boys.
I mean, just put it up in post or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but
all I remember is
now.
all I remember at the beginning is that whole intro of Harua running away and sees like Godzilla.
Right before that, he talks like
Oh,
the
wait,
monsters
hold up,
came
I
and
got
killed
it.
everyone. The
I got
fucking
it.
Godzilla.
Oh! I've just unlocked my third eye. I remember everything now.
There you go.
Good.
I feel like I've been shown the universe. Oh my goodness. I am God. I know all.
Oh god.
What are we talking about?
Alright guys, we should probably hurry along. We are crossing the 1 hour mark.
We're on movie one. Alright, so I don't know. I mean, like, the story's simple. Characters are just kind of one note. Nothing much to say about this one compared to the others. So
Yeah.
on to City on the Edge of Detroit. What a friend of ours called Mechagodzilla.
What?
Oh man.
Oh god, we talk about pre-marketing. Let's talk about Mechagodzilla.
Right? Marketing on like, ooh, Godzilla versus.
Like, oh shit, like like a really fucking weird looking Mechagodzilla, but hey.
Hey, I would have taken that weird looking Mechagodzilla for no frickin' Mechagodzilla.
Yeah, I mean, I know some people hate the design. I think it's fine. It's weird. It's different. Sure. I mean, it wasn't like the personal investment was that high. I mean, we already got a looking Mechagodzilla earlier that year.
Yeah.
With Ready Player One. So hey.
Yeah.
Which is the only reason why I watched that movie.
Hey.
Same. It's alright.
I literally only walked into that movie for that one scene, and then after that scene was over, I got up and left. No, I'm just kidding. No, I did go to the theater just for that one scene, but I stayed for the whole movie.
Oh, kind of like me for Kong Skull Island then, for the post-credit scene.
I probably...
Yeah, really.
I probably would have not seen it. However, I feel like I would have for Ready Player One. I feel like I would have ended up seeing it anyway with the bottom line. I mean, granted, there was other properties in there, like a new Halo was in there, and some other stuff. I'm like, hey, that's cool. Granted, we didn't see much of it, but you know.
Yeah.
Honestly, I probably wouldn't have even watched it. I love Steven Spielberg, man, but honestly, Ready Player One didn't really spark an interest in me.
It's not as a movie. It's not much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, Mechagodzilla.
He was on every piece of promotional advertising.
Not every piece, but he was in a good amount. Yeah.
Borderline.
Yeah, the first initial poster had him looming in the background while Godzilla was getting his ass handed to him by a bunch of kids.
He looms there like if you look at like the Star Wars posters, how like Darth Vader looms in the background.
No, like Snoke in the Last Jedi.
You know what's funny? Because I remember the posters for The Last Jedi. It's not Snoke looming in the background, it was Luke.
Even better.
Yeah, but for this one, he's like, they sold toys of him and stuff.
I mean, granted, the only toy they sold of him were like little keychains and that one Bandai store exclusive.
Yeah, still, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there's an X Plus of it in the future.
I feel robbed from that. You know how that was an obscure looking Mechagodzilla, and we could have gotten an obscure, weird anime freaking Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla fight.
Actually, you know they made a full CG model of him just for promotional stuff.
Nice.
Clap, that's how you do it. Clap.
It's like, you know, all they were talking about was like, you know, we're doing an anime, so you can do things that you can't do in live action. Like, there you go, fucking, because like there was a little like booklet or whatever that showed all this cool stuff he could do. He could turn his hand into a spear and just create create all this nanometal stuff.
Yeah.
But then the movie comes out and he's Terrence.
It's just a giant ass factory. That's it.
Yeah, and then the story itself, the characters are all still pretty uninteresting.
Yeah.
And then here's the thing. This is when they try to lean on the philosophical babble, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't work for two reasons. The first reason is they're arguing about like, oh, like, will you sacrifice your humanity to kill the monster? Except they're telling this to aliens.
Yeah.
Humanity, aliens.
with a very obviously from a different culture, different way of life, who clearly value logic over emotion. Why the fuck would you tell them not to do it? Like, it's their fucking business. Like, if they want to sacrifice themselves to the machine, like to the nanometal, like why would you stop them?
Yeah.
Like, I understand like protecting yourselves because you're down, but for them it's like this is what they fucking want.
Yeah, I felt that with that plot point, they could have really hit it home. They could have really made it a lot more emotional. But the way it's executed in the end, it's just
And the second issue is
it's just bad.
they're arguing, but it's like it's funny because like I think whoever the lead female protagonist is, I forget her name.
Yuko.
Yeah, Yuko interjects. It's like she's like, guys, this isn't the time for this, and it's like, yeah, it isn't the time for this. Why did they start? Like,
Oh god. I mean, she did make the point. Yeah.
she did, but I mean, in this case, why did none of these other idiots figure? The second they start arguing about it, I was thinking like, why the fuck are they doing this? Like,
They rejected
not
the egg.
like not the time.
Yeah, it's.
Like this whole thing about like, protecting your humanity and sacrificing humanity. It's like, really?
Yeah.
How can I sacrifice my humanity when I'm not?
Yeah, like once again, they're arguing about humanity to these literal aliens.
What was their species name again? I forgot. It was
Oh my god, the Billasaludo.
Yeah.
Billasaludo.
They have
You're
the best
sacrificing your
names.
Billasaludo.
Their names are amazing, like Mulu Galu Galagu.
I'll give them that Billasaludo, that really rolls the tongue, man. That really rolls off the tongue.
They're cool. I really dig them.
I think they're actually supposed to be based off of the
ape people from like OG Mechagodzilla.
Yeah. I think Black Hole 3 aliens? I think that's what they were called.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, but yeah, they were supposed to be based off that roughly, and it's. I really like their characters. I especially like Galagu. I think his name is Galagu.
The most interesting characters are the aliens. Honestly, it's funny because the aliens, the ideas behind them is that they're supposed to be one note.
Yeah.
Like, the Billasaludo, they're all about like logic and science. The Exif are all about like emotions and not just emotions, but like religious,
spirituality.
Spirituality. But they're easily way more interesting than all our human characters.
Yeah.
And Metphius is back, and he's kind of, I like how he's kind of hanging in the background, planting the seeds for the next movie, which wasn't too bad. And I mean, like I said, when it comes to the human stuff, romance between Haru and shit, it's just out of the fucking blue.
Yeah.
She said like 2 lines in the last movie, and now and I remember the scene where they connect. She's like, "Oh, you're so brave and like strong," and I'm just thinking like, all he does is scream, and shoot from his fucking bike. And then he got everyone killed.
Yeah.
Oh man. You know, when I was watching City on the Edge of Battle, that one scene where Menzies is gonna tell Haru the stuff about Ghidorah, I completely misinterpreted that scene at first. I thought they were gonna go full, like I thought they were about to have like a kissing scene or something. I'm like,
Everyone thought that.
what's about to happen here? What's about to happen here? And he just whispers in his ear, Ghidorah. Like,
I'll be honest, because the voice actor who plays him he has a high pitched voice in the first movie. I thought he was a woman.
I did too. I actually thought that was a chick in the first one.
God damn, guys.
I didn't know it was a male until they referred to him as he or something like that.
Yeah,
I thought he was just like a very just deep voiced woman.
a very
and that he was supposed to be like
voiced woman.
And that he was supposed to be like a mom. Well, they're aliens, so we have no idea what the female of the species look like.
Yeah.
So I thought he was like a parental, like a mom figure for Rahul.
Yeah.
I mean, he kind of was, but still.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Was there any female aliens? I don't remember there being any.
I don't think so.
I think they were all males. The Villa Saludo were all males. What was their name? The Exif?
Yeah, the Exif.
The Exif, they looked like they were all, well, I can't say that they looked like they were all males, but it appeared to be that there were only males. I thought some of them were chicks.
Yeah, I honestly thought that the older Exif was a female, actually.
Those Exifs are starting to become I think the Exifs saw California and they're like, ooh, let's mimic them.
They're all traps, all of them.
Shit, down, penis, down! Fuck!
Get fucked.
Yes, please.
Alright, there is one scene I really want to talk about, though. Those final moments from City on the Edge of Battle where Godzilla goes critical.
Oh yeah, there's some cool shots. That's it.
And that's it. I was about to...
What was that? He wasn't turning into Burning Godzilla.
No.
Scarlet Godzilla, right?
Yeah, apparently that's what it's
Scarlet.
called. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Scarlet Godzilla.
That had some cool imagery.
Yeah, it was actually really cool. I really liked that look of him. I just wished it honestly, I really wish that City on the Edge of Battle went the following way. They were able to reactivate Mechagodzilla, so they rebuilt him. And then a last-ditch effort, they tried to stop Godzilla. And then, they do the same harpoon shit, but with Mechagodzilla. And then he goes into meltdown. So what happens is the Bugle Saludo needs to sacrifice himself, just show a sliver of humanity to save his comrades with Mechagodzilla by encasing Godzilla in nanometal comprised of Mechagodzilla. And then, movie's done. That's how I wished it went.
You just created a paradox, though, because you said the Villa Saludo with just a smidge of humanity left.
Yeah, I know, because...
I think it's just to show that, maybe they're all just not, monotone fucking...
Yeah, I know, just,
creatures,
I know what you meant. I was just being...
maybe throughout the...
just a smudge of, empathy?
Yeah. Throughout the film, they're preaching about, you need to throw away all your emotions in order for the greater good. But then, in the end, you have the one fucking Bugle Saludo going, I need to do this, not for logic or for the betterment.
Well, I think it's
Oh my god,
No, I think maybe it would be like, well, it would be like, he realizes that emotion is like essential to like a species survival. Well, I like a
Yeah,
sentient species survival.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, and
I mean, that would have been nice.
yeah.
But it would have been
Um,
an arc for Gallagher. I assume it would be him because he's like the main one.
It's Belobay or Gallagher.
Yeah, like whoever the main one is, like that would have been it would have been an arc.
Yeah.
Guys, how do you remember their names?
I guess in this case, they're just such goofy but like cool names. I just kind of love them.
Yeah.
How many times have y'all watched the anime movie?
Honestly, once each.
Me too.
Shit.
If we just outed ourselves, we were like, you need 4 times in a row before you can understand their complexity.
Like for me, I saw
Wait.
I saw him 3 times. All 3.
Actually, I saw City on the Edge of Battle twice.
I know I tried watching the first one again the next day, like the day after we saw it together, me and Rahul.
Yeah.
But something came up midway, so I stopped. City on the Edge Battle and Planet Eater I saw once. And the thing is, we'll probably talk about these movies again. And if we do, I'll try to rewatch them for that one in a row.
Right.
But, I mean, my initial thought, so I don't think my opinion would change because I vividly remember stuff from them, scenes, dialogue, and stuff. Mostly because I guess they're so short. They're digestible at least.
Yeah.
Do you remember whenever I had said my opinion obviously changed on them, but do you remember whenever City on the Edge of Battle came out, I'm like, I actually like that one better than the first one. And you're just like, Nathan, what is wrong with you?
You know
I actually dug City on the Edge of Battle the first time I watched it, and then the second time it was kind of it was hard to sit through. Like, I had to force myself to watch it.
Yeah, they're not really. That's the other thing. Like, I think I did actually try to watch City on the Edge. The problem is, for movies that say so much, when you rewatch them, there's nothing new to pick up. I think maybe that's the issue. They just explain themselves to the 10th degree, and then there's nothing really to you can't really analyze anything because they just analyze it for you.
And the thing is, there's nothing. I don't want to say this but they're kind of bland. There's nothing that really pulls you in and grabs you about them. You know what I mean? There's some cool moments throughout them, but there's nothing that really grabs you in.
Yeah, there's no scenes that I remember as being oh, that was so awesome. Actually, no, there's one scene, and that's at the end of Monster Planet when Godzilla Earth does show up. That's a cool scene.
Yeah. I'll admit that. That's
a pretty awesome scene.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
I don't like most of these characters. I like a few, and when a few I mean fucking Metfees and the Saludo. But other than them, it's I couldn't really be fucked if any of these people die.
Surprise, we weren't.
And then Godzilla himself, it's a cool god. Like I said, we did mine, but it's not. I wouldn't put this anywhere near my favorite Godzillas.
Yeah.
This is a random question, but before the anime came out and they announced the Godzilla anime, how did you envision the Godzilla design to be like?
More traditional, maybe a Millennium type thing.
I actually was thinking that they were gonna do something I don't know why, but I envisioned a blend between the Godzilla from Godzilla against Mechagodzilla and the Godzilla from Godzilla versus Violante, like a blend between those two Godzillas that seemed like something anime-like to me.
No, yeah,
Like,
you're right. Yeah.
Hey, that definitely would. I would consider that like a more traditional look.
Yeah, oh my god, my mind was going wild. I was honestly really curious to see how the character would be interpreted in that kind of media, so I just kind of let my mind I couldn't really narrow down at a possible design. There was that concept piece made by a fan that came out, and while it was definitely different, and got a lot of people fooled thinking that was going to be the actual design. You know what I'm talking about? The one.
Oh yeah, I
Was
love
it that
that.
one?
I love that piece. I love.
Was it that one where Godzilla was forest and he was kind of had this like blue glow to him? He was like a
Yeah,
phantom.
super thin arm.
Yeah, just yeah. When I saw that, I thought, yeah, that's the anime Godzilla. Yes. But,
I actually was hoping that would have been his design.
We all were.
yeah, I know. It was so unique, and it felt like it could have been a great staple for the anime trilogy, but the design we ended up took too many notes from 2014.
As much as I hate that they not necessarily hate, I'm not a fan of how they did that. Can you really blame them though? Because at the moment, that's like the Godzilla that everyone has on their mind, the 2014 design.
Yeah, that is.
I mean, in a world where Shin Godzilla didn't exist, but
I mean, yeah.
Well,
Granted,
as far as like the general audience, people see the 2014 Godzilla.
yeah.
Before Godzilla 2014 came out, it was everyone when they thought about Godzilla typically thought of the Heisei Godzilla.
yeah, they might. I mean, I think before that, I mean, people kind of knew generally that Godzilla was a giant dinosaur. A bit less probably like knew specifics like the big spikes on the back and the upright posture
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Fire.
And the fire.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, 2014. I think that's the Godzilla most people think of now.
Yeah.
But it's a good design. It's one of my favorite. I don't mind. In terms of but yeah, the anime trilogy. I remember it was a bit disappointing to see it. It was just 2014. Like the same posture and gait and everything.
Yeah.
Has better looking feet, but that's it.
Yeah. All right, guys. So.
Really? Oh, sorry.
Oh no.
I guess we really need to get some Planet Eater.
Yeah.
You know, in our quote, like barely a review. It's more rambling.
I mean,
We're just like, all over the place.
Isn't that the whole point of podcasts? Just to ramble.
True.
The Lone Colony. Besides podcast, the Lone Colony rambling.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the tasty one. This is like
This is the tasty
this
one.
is the weird shit.
Nathan, get on your knees.
I don't want to get on my knees.
It's time to connect to life, bitch boys.
Oh my god. Yeah, I brought this up in the last podcast. Fucking
Oh no, I remember now. We're saving this for you, Nathan. Wink, wink.
yeah, that's so very uncomfortable to me.
Oh man.
Oh god.
So, how are we gonna jump into Planet Eater?
I mean, I guess we could talk about King Ghidorah first of all.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about Kinky Dora.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm in the minority when I say this, but if you guys saw the full CG model, I definitely really like this Ghidorah design. Not the idea of him being, giant
Noodles.
just giant noodles coming from black ass meatballs in the middle of the sky. But the overall design of him, it's actually something I really enjoy. It's definitely really different compared to the previous incarnations. And I know a lot of people are going to bring up saying, "Oh, it's just the server model changed up a bit." Yeah, I know, but the really antlion-like jaws and the eight-eyed heads, the underbite, the exoskeletal kind of look to them. It's definitely different from previous incarnations of Ghidorah, and you kind of. You kind of need to take a double take before you kind of realize, oh yeah, this is King Ghidorah. So yeah.
This Ghidorah actually turned out exactly the way I envisioned. Exactly. Like I was
long boy, like
yeah.
Space noodles.
Yeah. I thought like, what if they're gonna do like this other dimension type of being and like it's coming to, not exactly, but kind of how I envisioned, like, oh, and it starts bleeding into our universe and he's like too big. Already big, and it kind of turned out similar to what I thought. He was really obscure looking and he was very phantom like.
Yeah.
It is an interesting idea, considering he was just a three-headed dragon, but it doesn't.
Actually, he wasn't even really a phantom being. He was just bleeding into our universe or something like that.
Yeah, without his without the Metvi's eye thing going on, he's kind of a punk ass.
Yeah.
But how do you feel about never mind, I lost my train of thought. Imagine how it would have been without the whole noodle boy black hole meatballs. Imagine if it was just a giant Ghidorah floating in space, and he's so massive that his head would wrap around the world like they were doing.
It probably would result. I was about to say less silly imagery, but no, that's pretty fucking stupid.
Like, how terrifying that would. Not necessarily terrifying, but how freaking eerie that shit would be.
I guess it could be, but it would probably, especially considering the anime style, so it would probably look more silly than intimidating.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, just that image, it's kind of silly.
Granted, this Ghidorah is only like.
I mean, my choice. I would have just went a bit more. I hate to say this. I would have probably just went a bit more traditional. I would have made him do creative things, but I would have kept the design the same.
Yeah, I guess after City on the Edge of Boredom.
City on the Edge of Boredom.
Thanks, Steven's Toy Reviews. But yeah, I guess people were really longing to see this destroyer of a monster that Godzilla was promised to be. Because, you always heard the stories in the novels going about how he took out, entire armies, destroyed entire cities by awaking from a volcano, the destruction of Gorath, when he first appeared, taking out Anguirus, Varagon, and Varan. I guess we were really hoping to see that fighting spirit, that fighting style that he would execute. But
no, he probably just laser bladed all of them.
Yeah, he probably just Tom and Brett's them all to hell. Yeah.
Yeah, and so we got noodles coming from space. Everyone, and I know they throw the terms Lovecraftian god on him a lot. I mean, I guess in concept, but not in anything else.
Yeah.
The last time I checked, the whole point of the Lovecraftian monsters with this supposed to be super weird looking. I mean, he's just three heads.
Yeah.
What I really did like, though, Oh, I'm sorry, I interrupted you. Continue.
I was just being quiet so you could talk. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. What I really did like though is Ghidorah's presence whenever he wasn't on screen. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
he had like this presence. Like, I think it could have benefited from, you know, building up Ghidorah's arrival a little bit more, because I really liked the presence they were giving him throughout the movie before he showed up.
Yeah.
That's just me though.
Yeah, I guess that's the anime trilogy's main strength, just building up the the monsters, Godzilla and Ghidorah, just having this really intimidating presence and kind of track record of being these awful beings. I guess there is one thing I kind of forgot to mention about Ghidorah. I love the idea how his very, presence, as soon as he appears, the space-time continuum just fucks up.
Oh yeah, that was I forgot
Here's the
about
thing.
that.
I guess it's cool in concept, but the issue with that is we don't really see much of anything happen. We're just told things are happening. Like he wraps around the ship and it just starts exploding, right?
Yeah, that's
But I mean, it's not like anything interesting, like or just weird is happening to the ship. It's just exploding, and we're being told that weird shit is happening.
Oh well, there was that thing that he said we're doomed or whatever, and he's like, technically we're already dead.
No, that's what I mean. Like they're basically saying how space-time distortion, like this deck is pronounced like destroyed, but yet you're still talking to me, blah blah blah, right? But that's the thing, we're being told all this. Yet you think of being animated, they could show some really strange distortion stuff happening.
How would they execute that though about them already being dead?
yeah.
No, I mean they would just write it that different stuff happened.
I'm sorry, you cut out. What did you say?
I was saying they could just write it so that different things happen in that scene,
Okay.
other than that being quote unquote just dead before the rest.
Yeah.
I found honestly the idea that they threw out there about that, I actually found that freaking cool as hell. And whenever we see Ghidorah's head out from that space station, and you hear that music playing.
Oh, that music is great.
Yeah.
Oh
The
man.
slasher villains theme.
Hey guys, just a reminder, all those elderly and kids are dead.
Good. Fuck 'em.
I completely forgot that there was children on that ship, and then I remember Daniel and I had a conversation about it, and then he brought that up. I'm like, oh crap, I forgot about that.
Oh no.
But you know how much emotional weight they could have added to the movie if they would have, brought that. It would have been really freaking dark, but if they would have added all those children are dead, blah 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 blah, rather than just
But I mean, if the movie didn't care, why should we?
Shit.
I mean, it doesn't hurt to try.
David.
But you know what I'm saying? They could have added an emotional weight.
What I was getting at is Nathan's right. It's like the movie is so busy with its expositional dialogue that they rarely take time to just let things sink in.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, I think everyone can admit the actual fight between Ghidorah and Godzilla is pretty lame.
Yeah.
And
Godzilla's floating.
And then they try to do some psychological stuff with Haru and Metphies. Well, it's great because Metphies is great. It doesn't really make a lot of sense again, because anyone with common sense will immediately go, Metfies, you're a real asshole. He's talking about like, oh, how miserable all these years, and it's like, that's pretty fucking selfish attitude. like if Haruo were to agree, he'd just be a douchebag.
Yeah.
Because the way that Metfies is trying to manipulate him, it's like anyone who agrees with what Metfies is saying just has to be like extremely selfish, self-centered.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not sure what they're trying to go with that.
What was his philosophy again? Like, it doesn't matter, we're all doomed.
Yeah, and it was just kind of like, look at all these people who died. It's like they,
Except the inevitable.
yeah,
Just give in. You will know peace if you just give in to the inevitable, something like that.
but I mean, it's just like, you know, dying later is quite nice too.
Yeah.
Where have I heard that from before? Whenever Memphis was going off about that I remember that from a different movie.
I mean, it's not exactly a super original concept.
No, I mean like it was I know it's not necessarily an original concept, but I've seen that before in another movie about the same level as how Memphis was about it.
I've seen this concept before too, but I can't remember.
I haven't seen it in several things, but I've seen it done before.
I shouldn't say several things, but I'm in the same boat where it's like I know this concept from others, from like there's other stuff, but I can't remember them right now.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the idea that like, oh, just like a villain is saying, just accept death, like, because death is always coming. I don't like. To be fair, I probably have to watch this. I feel like if the wrong person watches this, it's just gonna be like a fucking essay talking about the deep philosophical like implications of fucking Godzilla the Planet Eater.
To be fair, though, should I be one to criticize this considering critique it since I've only seen it once and I'm just like shooting stuff out of my ass?
This is a far cry from a professional view.
Yeah.
Oh, I know where I've seen this from before. Have you seen the Day the Earth Stood Still remake?
Oh, yeah,
I
the one with
think
Keanu
so.
Reeves.
With Keanu Reeves? Memphis sort of reminds me of Keanu Reeves' character in that movie. It started with the Klein, something like that. His character, it's on the tip of my tongue. It starts with a K or a C. But anyway, Kilowog. Wait, no, not Kilowog. That's freaking Green Lantern. Never mind. Just you know what I mean? Like at first in that movie, Keanu Reeves' character was exactly how Memphis was about like, you know, the inevitable is coming. Just accept your fate. But then, like slowly, at least Keanu Reeves grew as a character in that movie. But anyways, yeah, that's what I had seen it from before.
I guess I mean in that whole scene, it ends with going, "Oh wait, maybe I shouldn't be a fucking douchebag." I guess in those scenes he didn't really know what was going on. It ends with him plucking out Mephi's eye thing.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Oh man, I forgot about that entirely.
And then but then there's all sorts of other weird shit in the movie. Like, let's talk about it. The twins.
Oh yeah.
Like, what?
Haru are getting it on with some insects. Let me tell you about that.
It is bizarre, especially when he had a love interest in the last one, and she's just dead. She's just gone throughout this whole thing. Like, you think at one point she'd wake up, but nope. It's like I feel like it's like they writ her out like he was supposed to be gone, but then they wanted Haru to have kids, but they didn't think to just revive the girl, to revive Yuko. So he's like, well,
I mean, am I the only one who's thinking like, well, this is an anime, so you gotta have your bestiality, human bestiality, but still, it's still weird to me that Haru is laying with an evolved insect lady who may or may not be of consenting age.
and he never makes his motivations apparent as to why he did it. He just kind of goes with the flow.
Get on your knees. It's time to connect to life.
Jesus.
Oh man.
Honestly, I have nothing to say about that. It's just,
It's such a weird quote unquote romantic side plot. And it's even more random than the one he had with Yuko and City on the Edge of Battle.
Dude, that scene made me so uncomfortable whenever she's just randomly taking off her clothes, and I'm just like,
Wait a minute, isn't this supposed to be a Godzilla movie?
right? Like, just about every single Godzilla movie ever, you know, even kissing scenes in it. I've only seen one Japanese Godzilla movie that had a kissing scene in it, and that was the invasion of the Astro Monster.
Yeah.
Godzilla vs. Monster Zero. That was the only one I ever saw that even had kissing in it. And then Godzilla 1998, which we don't speak of. Godzilla 2014. Wait a minute. There was nudity in Godzilla movies, though.
Yeah. I think only Terra Mechagodzilla?
And Godzilla vs. Megalon.
Oh no.
There are some nudie posters in the background.
Oh, yes!
Of course there were.
It was the 70s.
Gotta get your fix on somehow.
That is true.
Shit.
You know, those boobs weren't even real in Terror of Mechagodzilla. That was a breastplate that they put on her.
For the life of me, I don't remember Terror of Mechagodzilla.
Good.
I just found it really boring.
Ouch, that hurts.
I know, it's a beloved film in the franchise. I love Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla.
I actually really like the OG Godzilla Mecha. That is my second favorite in the Showa era.
So that was really good. Yeah, but
Oh, we got off track. We were talking about Haru getting it on with some insect lady.
I mean, what is there to say? It's just
You know, Haru really should have just gone out on a limb. Why do I have to choose? Why not both of you?
Oh, God. Go back home, you dirty Texan.
I'm telling you, Haru could have had every guy's dream. No, I'm just that's gross.
being with two moth lollies.
Yeah, who wouldn't want to? Yeah, never mind. I'm gonna be.
Yeah.
Thanks for the input, Nathan.
Oh, God.
I'm sorry if this video gets taken down because of my horrible
No,
comment.
we just won't be able to monetize it.
What about
I mean, that was a
PewDiePie?
given. That's just how that's just how these things go.
Yeah, it's
But I mean, I guess I don't know what to talk. Like, it's weird. When I came into this, right, I felt like I had so much to say about these movies plot-wise, but ironically, I really don't.
Daniel, that's just a reflection of the plot. There's
No,
not
exactly.
much to say.
like surprisingly, they're all they're all simple in a bad way.
Yeah, pretty much.
There's plenty of
I
movies I like that are very simple plot wise, but I could just say so much about like different scenes and stuff. Even the ones I've only seen once.
And you remember how the director was saying that these were complex movies?
Son of a bitch.
But for these ones, it's just nothing. Individual scenes don't really stick out
Yeah.
that much.
I don't understand why people will get so upset about the anime movies, though, because, to be honest, about a year from now, 2 years from now, is anybody really going to remember them?
I mean, getting mad about things is what the Godzilla fan base does best.
I know, but is this even going to be remembered, to be honest?
I mean,
Like, it's not bad enough to be I mean, I don't consider Godzilla 1998 to be the worst abomination ever made, but I don't
It's pretty
think
fucking bad, though.
yeah. I mean,
Like,
it has good ideas, but terrible execution with characters and
plot and
yeah.
sequences and
Well,
humor and just everything.
what I'm getting at is I don't think that the anime trilogy is bad enough to be hated and remembered of the hate as much as 98 or Godzilla's Revenge.
Yeah, I'd say a few films.
I think it will fade into obscurity. I mean, think about it. There was barely any hype for Planet Eater because people were more hyped for King of the Monsters.
That is true. People were more hyped for the freaking trailer for King of the Monsters.
Yeah, I remember the date. Like, I think the movie and the trailer released on the same day, and I saw the whole fan base about the Godzilla King of the Monsters trailer.
Actually, I think
And like only the next day did some people were like, "Oh yeah, by the way, I watched the Planet Eater."
no, Planet Eater came out in January. First trailer for King of the
I saw it.
came out in December.
I remember I didn't even see the Planet Eater as soon as it came out. I saw it like 2-3 weeks later.
Oh wait, no. Sorry. First trailer for King of the Monsters came out in fucking June.
Yeah, I saw the King of the Monsters trailer.
I think maybe July. Second trailer for King of the Monsters came out.
It was like the second week of December, right?
Yeah, it came out in December.
It was like the second week or like the tail end of the first week. I remember it being on a Sunday.
I remember. Yes, I think it was because that driving school, and Rahul, you sent it to me, and like right after my driving school ended, and I used that to watch it right there. My reaction wasn't as animated as yours, but
Hey, you gotta do the reactions. You gotta stay hip with what's on YouTube.
Yeah, I did a reaction for trailer 2. I really tried to not be over the top, but I couldn't help it. I just got so excited about it.
I'll be honest, I wouldn't be good at trailer reactions. If I really feel it, like really dig a trailer, I'll just have a big smile on my face. But I don't. I'm just not one to scream like "oh shit" or something. Maybe at the most I'll cover my mouth or something. If I see something that's really just yeah.
I really don't get excited for stuff as I used to. But the freaking King of the Monsters trailers really made me jump out of my seat. The only trailer, there's only been 2 other trailers that made me kind of hyped and excited, and that was the first trailer for John Wick Chapter 3 and the second trailer for Hellboy. I wasn't jumping out of my seat for the second trailer for Hellboy, but that ending line made me laugh my fucking ass off when she's like, "We belong together, you and I." He's like, "We really do. Never gonna work because I'm a Capricorn and you're fucking nuts."
Yeah.
It's such a stupid line, but I love it so much.
I don't know why I loved that second trailer for Hellboy so damn much. Like the first trailer was just bland and to me, and the second one was like, I need this movie.
It looks exciting.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. It's probably my third most hyped movie of this year.
True.
I don't need to ask you what's number one.
King of the Monsters is number 1. Number 2 is probably John Wick Chapter 3. Number 3 is Hellboy. Number 4. I don't know if number 4 is going to stay number 4, but right now I think it's that Joker movie. I really want to see what Joaquin Phoenix brings to the Joker. I'm a big fan of Joaquin Phoenix.
Did you hear what happened to it?
Oh yeah, about they're rewriting scripts last minute.
Rewrites.
Yes.
I don't necessarily see that I don't necessarily see that as a bad thing though for a Joker movie because they're doing a Joker origin story, and if it's kind of jumbled and stuff, what they could do is in the comics, the Joker was like, if I have an origin, I prefer it to be multiple choice. So they could have like this whole montage in the beginning of the Joker, like explaining his story about his fall from grace or whatever, and it's all convoluted and a mess. But it would actually work poetically with the movie, I think.
Maybe.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, I in theory, rewrite should not be a problem, right?
Yeah.
In reality, rewrites is just fucking code for studio interference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, producers changing things to put profit over, like, you know, the director's artistic vision.
Yeah.
And I mean, and that's already when, like, you know, obviously when it comes to big budget movies, it's always a compromise, right?
Yeah.
That's obvious. But then sometimes studios take it too far, and these rewrites are an example of that, you know?
Yeah.
What I think could happen though, that was just like a cool little idea I had here. But what I think could happen though, and what is probably happening, is they're probably rewriting the Joker movie to be more PG-13.
Probably.
Maybe. It's funny. It is weird.
Do what?
It is weird because it's like I never really expected it to be rated R. I don't think it has to be. Maybe that's because, you know, The Dark Knight was, you know, when it comes to making your movie darker and edgier, the prime example is Dark Knight, which is a PG-13.
Mm-hmm.
So you could be more serious, you know, quote unquote darker tone while not being rated R.
Well, I think the reason why they're going for they're not adapting it, but they're taking influence from the Killing Joke comic book or graphic novel, and they adapt.
I mean, these are huge assumptions when we haven't even gotten a trailer.
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was confirmed that they were not basing it, but taking influence from the Killing Joke.
I take those confirmations with a grain of salt right now.
Yeah.
All right. Especially since the fact that they're rewriting the script.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
all right, guys. Guess we should probably wrap this up soon.
This
1 hour 40 minutes.
oh, I'm sorry.
This is just a fucking mess, but
I took this way out of. This is why Nathan does not. Yes, I took this way out.
No. This is fine. We'll just never invite you again.
Oh man.
I mean, I feel bad. It's weird. I feel bad because I feel like with the Godzilla anime trilogy, I do think there is a lot to talk about and some good arguments to be had and stuff, but it's like,
I think we had a better conversation with the podcast that did not get recorded.
Yeah.
Maybe, but because you know the anime trilogy has its defenders, and I've heard I get it, right? Like, I get it. But I don't feel like there were. It's weird. I wanted to like discuss the anime trilogy, but when thinking about it, it's like I could really just forget about him and not be fucked.
Yeah. Damn shame. Damn shame.
We can sum up the anime trilogy with damn shame.
Yeah, it's closing statements. I guess David already gave his.
My closing statement would be a missed opportunity.
Yeah. For me, yeah, same. Just there were so many great moments that they could have taken advantage of. There were so many concepts they could have tried that have truly never been used in a Godzilla film before. But what we got in the end is fucking
Like dead
turrets,
children.
hover bikes, and golden space noodles. That's all we got.
Fear the spaghetti.
Oh no, SpaghettiOs! But
There was literally a concept that could have been explored and they didn't. That was right there in front of us. How many times do children die in Godzilla movies?
I mean,
To be honest, I'm pretty sure there's a fair amount of children that die, but
The collateral damage.
yeah.
I mean, there's a lot more they could have done, but it is what it is. I mean, when push comes to shove, in my opinion, it's like they're just not that entertaining as movies on a story level, character level, or even visual level. It's like, you know, anytime when they try to show monster action, it's all right. When they try to have these deep philosophical moments, they're neither deep nor very interesting.
Yeah, it's
Character moments are just they seem like side sort of scenarios without any real weight to them.
yeah.
And yeah, it's just a bland trilogy.
Sadness.
I mean, hey, there's people who like them, and I'm like, hey, rock on.
More power to him. Yeah.
What if they took this idea, like just from the first movie, Godzilla Monster Planet, and they redid it with like what Rahul said, that 2D animated series,
Actually,
and they really explored the concept of a monster planet.
Actually, I think that was supposed to be the original idea, but they just settled for the trilogy of films in 3D instead, I think.
Probably was cheaper, right?
Maybe.
Or like it gave them or maybe it's the opposite, allowed them to work with a bigger budget, because a TV show you have to like spread it out and stuff.
Yeah. What I was gonna say is, this trilogy was made within the time span of 3 years. So with 3D, that's definitely time effective, because with anime you need to draw every single frame. And same thing with every single scene, but with 3D you just need to make the models and then set the characters on stage. That's all you need. So yeah, and like you said,
it could also be like 3D animation has taken off here in the West, right?
I think what I was trying to, sorry, I just forgot to mention, they were trying to make this film fit within the MonsterVerse schedule. Because remember, Toho wasn't allowed to make any Godzilla films in the presence of the MonsterVerse films. And, they even mentioned this. They wanted to keep the momentum of Godzilla going, so they made this trilogy.
Maybe.
No.
What I was saying was another reason is like because you see a rise. There is like a surgence of like 3D animes coming out, right?
Not really.
At least from what I've noticed. I'm not big into anime, but like there's a lot every year. Seems to be more. It's a case of like they're usually bad, but they keep trying, right? For whatever reason, even when the best looking ones are 2D. So I was thinking maybe because of how successful, like, because 3D animation is really overtaking 2D animation on the movie side of things here in the West, right?
Yep.
So I wonder if there's some influence there, like they want to, get on that.
I mean, maybe.
Because I feel like after all the shit ones, they would stop.
I think they were trying to also. I forgot which one of y'all brought it up was, but I think they were trying to capitalize on the fact that 3D animation is starting to be the more go-to animated movie here in the States.
That's literally what I just said.
Yeah. So, yeah, never mind.
Yeah,
Bro.
I think we should end it here. We're capping off at 2 hours.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah, we're getting there.
Oh man. You're probably gonna butcher it, right?
I mean, thinking about it, maybe I think it's more likely that Rahul's right. Because while there's a couple 3D animes out every year, it isn't that much when you add them all up.
Wait a minute. Who was the one who brought up the thing about that allowed them to watch the bigger budget? Going
I was saying like that's why it was a movie instead of a TV show. Maybe it allowed them to work with the bigger budget, because all the money would have been going to like 3 1.5 hour projects and not like multiple half-hour, however long episodes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see that. That makes sense.
Anyway, I guess closing thoughts, closing statements.
I think we already gave a closing statement.
We did.
Yeah. And then David babbled on. Babylon.
Yeah. Okay. So actually, let me say not about the anime trilogy. Next episode. I'm thinking we discuss. It was either Pacific Rim or the MCU.
I guess.
Yeah, with me and Rahul.
Sorry, Nathan.
Well, we'll try to get Nathan on. And we have another friend who's going to join us too, Salsa.
Alright.
He's kind of our group weeb, so he knows. Like, all this shit I'm talking about, I'm talking about all this anime stuff. I know through second knowledge. For him, he's the fucking... He's an encyclopedia.
He's your source. But, yeah, we should probably close this off.
Alright.
Yeah.
So thanks for watching this fucking disaster of a podcast.
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get cut out because most of my lines don't. Thank you for inviting me.
No problem. Yeah. Good night, everybody.
No.
Adios, senors.